This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. The following content does not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of the channel's broadcaster. Proprietors of this channel are not liable for reproduction or imitation of the following material. Portions of the materials used are trademarks and/or copyrighted works of Take-Two Interactive. All rights reserved by Take-Two Interactive. This material is not official and is not endorsed by Take-Two Interactive.
Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back. I appreciate you clicking on the video. Hopefully all you guys are having an amazing day. If you did notice, the intro music was different. Unfortunately, I've gotten a copyright claim on the intro music, which you all know I've been using since my channel started, so where this came from I don't really know. I disputed it on the last video, my Invisible OTR No Cops video. I filed a dispute with that one, but I'm not going to keep using the same intro music and letting them strike my videos until it gets resolved. So I'm gonna be using a different intro music until that gets resolved, and then I'm gonna go back to the music I had because I did purchase that music. It is a royalty-free track, so there's no reason I should not be able to use it. And the channel that's claiming that I'm copywriting this from them was just started, you know, a little less than a month ago, and as you guys know, I've been using this track for probably 5-6 months now. So for it to just now be copyright claimed by someone who just started a channel, so it's kind of BS to me. So I am going to be getting that track back. I do like the music that I normally use while I picked that. Like I said, I paid for that track, so I do own rights to use that. So until that gets resolved, we'll be just having different intro music there. So no, nothing too big for you guys to worry about. It's more personally just for me. But nonetheless, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the workaround for the apartment sale glitch. Now, if you've done this in the past, you know this is where you sell apartments on your secondary character that you own on your primary character, and basically you get the difference in price. What you get back is basically 50% of the purchase price. Now, for this, you do need to own expensive properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 of your primary character, and you need the 3 cheapest properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 of your secondary character. Now, you don't have to have the most expensive properties on your primary character. A lot of people are confused, or they think they can't do it because they don't have the most expensive properties. Basically, you're going to get back 50% of whatever the properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 of your primary character are worth. So if you don't have the most expensive ones, that's fine. As long as they're over, I would say, you know, a couple $100,000 in value, then you'll make considerable money doing this. You know, if you own 3 properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 that are worth $500,000 to $300,000 a piece, you know, then you're going to make back over $500,000 every time you do this. And then once you make that money, then you can buy the most expensive properties on slots 4, 5, and 6. You know, so you can use the properties you already own on those slots, assuming they're worth more than $25,000 a piece, because the cheapest properties that you can buy are $25,000, $26,000, and then $26,500 for the 3 cheapest ones. So you obviously need properties worth more than that to make money when you get your 50% back. But you want some that are worth, you know, around a couple $100,000 to make it worth your time, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time doing this to make very little money. So like I said, I would recommend owning properties that are worth, you know, a couple $100,000 a piece on slots 4, 5, and 6 to do this. Now, and I kind of made a breakdown here of how the numbers work out. If you don't have any properties on slots 4, 5, and 6, and you're just starting this out, you want to have at least, you know, a little over $500,000 to start this. And what you would do is you would just go in to slot 4, buy the Eclipse Towers apartment, not the penthouse, just the apartment, for $500,000. And then you'll go on your secondary character and you'll buy the cheapest apartment on slot 4 as well, and then you'll do the glitch from there. That way, each time you do the glitch, you'll make roughly $250,000 roughly every time you do the glitch. So that way you can build that money up, and then you can buy the most expensive apartment on slot 4 and continue on from there to build money. Now, ideally, to start this glitch, if you don't own any of the properties, you want $3.2 million to start it. And what that's going to allow you to do is that'll allow you to buy Eclipse penthouses 1, 2, and 3, and the 3 cheapest properties on your secondary character. So that's just starting out if you don't own any of the properties. So like I said, I'm going to go run through the glitch here and you'll see kind of how it works if you don't already know, but I just wanted to explain a little bit of that because people think that if they don't have the most expensive properties on slot 4, 5, and 6 that they can't do it, but that's not true. As long as you have some that are worth a considerable amount, like I said, a couple $100,000 a piece, you can still do this glitch and then just save up that money until you can buy the most expensive ones on your slot 4, 5, and 6, and you'll be able to make even more money for your time. So with that being said, let's hop right into actually how to perform the glitch. Now the first thing we want to do to start out is load into an invite-only session on your primary character. Then you want to go in to the internet on your phone, you want to go to Dynasty 8, and we're going to purchase the 3 most expensive properties that we can afford on slots 4, 5, and 6. So if you go right here, you can sort high to low so you can get the most expensive ones up at the top here. Now you'll see Eclipse Towers penthouses aren't here for me because I already own them. So I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to go to purchase property on this one, and I'm just going to show you in slots 4, 5, and 6, I have Eclipse Penthouse Suites 1, 2, and 3. These are the ones you want if you can afford them. Now, if you have expensive properties but they're not in the right slot and you want to move them down, okay, the only way to do that is to purchase a cheap property over the top of it. So let's say you have Eclipse Penthouse Tower 1 on slot 2. You would have to purchase a cheaper property over slot 2 and then repurchase Eclipse Penthouse down to slot 4, 5, or 6. That's the only way to move those if you have them in the wrong slots. But like I said, it doesn't have to be these 3 properties, just the 3 most expensive ones you can get down here in these slots. Once you make some money with this, if you want to buy these Eclipse Penthouse Suites later to make more money with this, then you can do that. So like I said, just the 3 most expensive ones you can afford there in slots 4, 5, and 6. Now, once you've done that, what you want to do is we are going to switch to our secondary character. So we're going to go to swap character, accept the alert. Now here on the character selection screen, obviously all we're going to do is select our second character because we're going to purchase the 3 cheapest properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 with our second character. So just scroll over to your secondary character and press X to choose that character. Now once we load into a session here, we're going to do the same thing except we're going to purchase the 3 cheapest properties we can find. And the same thing goes for your second character as for your first one. If you have the 3 cheapest properties in a different slot, you want to move them, then buy a different property into the slot you're wanting to move from, and then rebuy the cheapest property into slots 4, 5, or 6. Because you definitely want the cheapest ones here because this price is going to be deducted from your profit every time. So you want these to be the cheapest ones you can get in slots 4, 5, and 6. So once you've purchased the cheapest ones in these bottom 3 slots, from here, all we want to do is we're going to switch back to our primary character. So we're going to go online, swap character again. And then right here, pretty simple, just scroll over, select your primary character, and select them. Now, once you load into a session, you should still have the 3 most expensive properties on slots 4, 5, and 6. We're just going to hold down on our D-pad, select a story mode character, and accept the alert so that we can go out to single player. Now, once we load into a single player session, this is where the glitch is really going to start from. Those first steps for the setups, we won't have to do those steps again to rinse and repeat. Okay, this is where the rinse and repeat will begin from. So right here, when we're in single player, what we're going to do is we're going to go out to our PlayStation home screen. We're going to go into our capture gallery and find any clip. If you don't have a clip, just record a clip of anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Once you have a clip in here, press options while you're hovering over it, and you'll get this sidebar here. We want to hover over trim. We want to leave our cursor hovered over trim, and then we're going to double tap our PS button to come back to the game. Now, once we come back to the game, we're going to pause, we're going to go to online and invite only session, and we're going to be watching for the orange loading circle in the bottom once we accept this alert. So we're going to press X on invite only session, we're going to accept the alert, and then we're going to watch the bottom corner. As soon as we see that white loading circle turn orange right there, we're going to double tap our PS button and we're going to spam X on trim. That's going to suspend GTA. Once we've done that, we're going to go back and restart GTA right here by selecting the game. We're going to come back to the game and we should have this alert. If you don't have this alert, you need to repeat the last steps. You didn't hit the timing. If you do have that alert, simply accept both of the alerts with X, and you should load in like this as your secondary character. Once you load in here, we're going to go to online, and we're going to go to creator mode, and we're going to accept the alert. Now, once we load into creator, we're simply going to go to choose character. So you don't have to scroll through the list here. I don't know why I scrolled through there. Just pause your game from here, and then you're going to go over to online, and you're going to go to choose character. Accept the alert. Now we're going to load back into our character selection screen. Now from here, you're going to see your primary character says error. That's perfect, okay? That's doing exactly what we want it to do. From here, we're going to select our primary character. So you'll see right here, I select my primary character. And then what's going to happen is it's going to bring us right back to the character selection screen. Okay, this is what should happen. We should load right back into the character selection. This time, your character will not say error. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to select our secondary character. So scroll over to your secondary character and press X. So the first time from creator, we select our primary character, which says error. The second time we load back in here, we select our secondary character. Now from here, we're simply going to load into a session. Now this is where we're going to buy the 3 cheapest properties again over slots 4, 5, and 6, and this is where we're actually going to make the money. Now, your characters do share a bank account, so don't worry about what character you're getting the money on, because both your characters share a bank account. The only thing they don't share is what's in cash. So right here, we're going to go down to Dynasty 8. We're going to go to View Property Listings, and then we're going to sort low to high on the price, and then we're going to buy the 3 cheapest properties here. So we're going to purchase property, and then we're going to purchase it over either slots 4, 5, and 6. So right here, I'm going to purchase it over slot 4, and you're going to see it's going to give me back nearly $500,000 right there. And then we're going to repeat those same steps for slots 5 and 6. Sort low to high, and then we're going to purchase the cheapest property over slot 5 this time. And it's going to give us another $500,000. And then we're going to repeat this one more time for slot 6. So sort low to high again, purchase the cheapest property over slot 6. And there we go. We've completed the glitch at this point. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're simply going to choose our primary character again so we can get ready to rinse and repeat. So from here, I'm just going to go to pause, online, swap character. We're going to accept the alert. We're going to load back into the character selection screen, and then from here we're going to select our primary character. So scroll over to your primary character, press X, and then we're just going to wait to load back into another session. Now you should see you still have the most expensive properties on slots 4, 5, and 6 on your primary character. We're simply going to hold down the D-pad and enter story mode again. And from story mode, we're ready to rinse and repeat the glitch. Simple as that. So it's a pretty simple workaround, not too hard to do. This is a pretty nice glitch, especially, you know, if you're sick of duping cars. This is a nice break from that. Please don't go ham on it. Do it in moderation. I wouldn't make personally more than $3 to $5 million a day with this, or you may get flagged, you might get money wiped, possibly banned. So do be careful with it. Now, if you started from scratch here and you bought all these properties, like the 3 most expensive properties and the cheapest properties on your secondary character, you know, you started from scratch and you invested the $3.2 million. You'll have to do this glitch 3 times before you start to make profit. You'll actually make profit on the 3rd time you do it. And then from there on out, you'll make 1.5 mil nearly every time you do it. But the first 2 times you do it, you're going to make back around $3 million for those first 2 times. So you're just shy of breaking even with the first 2 times. On the 3rd time you do the glitch, you'll make around 1.2 million. and then you're starting to make profit every time there after that. So don't count, if you're doing this from scratch, don't count the first 2 times as money made, because you're really just breaking even at that point. After the 3rd time and from then on out, that's when you're making profit every time. If you invested all of that money originally, if you already had the properties like me, then you're not going to count those as making back your investment because you didn't buy those to begin with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to comment the hidden word. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel with your post notifications on so you never miss any future uploads. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Try to